Hi, I'm Brian and welcome to my room. Today's video is going to be my November mixtape on Spotify. So I'll go through the songs and provide a link to the Spotify playlist in the description. So I hope you go check it out and see what's I've been listening to. The first song I picked was by Sum 41, their 2023 song Landmines. And when I heard this was a single, but I think that they have a new album out. And you may remember Sum 41 from the early 90s and the pop punk explosion. And I hadn't heard anything from them in a while, so I thought this song was pretty cool and wanted to include it. The next one is from 1995 uh, by the band named Hum. It's their song Stars, which was kind of a big hit on the radio. And it was You'd Prefer an Astronaut was the album it came off of from 1995. And this band was from Champaign, Illinois. The next one goes back a little bit further to 1989. I picked Galaxy 500's Another Day from their first album On Fire, which came out in 1989, as I said. And this band is from Boston, Massachusetts. The next one on this one is a song by Black Black, and it's a cover of the Misfits song Skulls. And it was on their Black Black EP2 that came out in 2006. And this band is from Los Angeles. And I liked this cover version because it's slower and really reinforces what the lyrics are about with the creepier arrangement. I think it's really cool. The next one is a song from a few years ago, actually more than a few, 2006, TV on the radio song Wolf Like Me from their Return to Cookie Mountain album. And this band is from Brooklyn, New York also. And hadn't heard this song for a while, and I liked it when it came out, and so threw it on. The next one is I'm Shaken by Rooney, and this was on their first album that came out in 2003. This is another band from Los Angeles, kind of a pop punk kind of sound, and so it's a good, fun, great song. Next one is New from Nation of Language. This song came out this year, and the one I picked was Soul Obsession from their Strange Disciple album. And this band is also from Brooklyn, New York. The next one on this list is MGMT Little Dark Age from their Little Dark Age album that came out in 2018. And the band is from Middletown, Connecticut. And I liked their earlier singles and hadn't heard this for a while. And I heard it on the radio and decided to include it. The next one is Men Without Hats song Things in My Life from their 1982 album Rhythm of Youth. And this band was from Montreal, Quebec. And you may know them from their big song from the 80s, Safety Dance. But I heard them that way by Safety Dance. I saw the video on MTV and really liked it, and I went and bought the album, and I really enjoyed the whole Rhythm of Youth album. And their second album, Folk of the 80s, I really enjoyed. After that, I kind of lost them a little bit and didn't follow, and their music didn't quite catch me the same, but this is just a great song. And so I hope you go and check the whole album out. It's a little unusual, but it's good stuff. The next one I picked is a band from Germany named Electric Callboy. And the song I picked was We Got the Moves from their 2022 techno album. And I heard it on the radio and thought it was cool. So it was a good choice to put on, I think. Next one is from Skating Polly, who are from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And the song I picked was from their 2023 album, Chaos County Line, the song Send a Priest. And I'd kind of gone back and listened to Skating Polly's material, and I liked it, and this one really kind of caught me, so I wanted to include it for the month. The next one is something that is an older song, but I had never really heard until very recently, by a band called Death, and they are from Detroit, and they were several black guys, two brothers, and a few other guys with them that were playing hardcore punk in 1976, which nobody was doing. And this was leading into kind of Bad Brains and before them. And it's very rare to see black guys in rock. They're there, but unfortunately you don't see them very often. And this song really caught my attention too. And the one, it's Politicians in My Eyes. And this was on the For the Whole World to See, which was originally released in 1976, but was as an archival release reissued in 2009. The next song is more modern hardcore punk from Southern California. The band Stick to Your Guns, and the song is Universal Language from Better Ash Than Dust, that came out in 2016. Then we have Hot Water Music, a song from their Fuel for the Hate game that came out in 1997. And the one that I grabbed was Difference Engine. And this band is from Gainesville, Florida, with a post-punk, kind of post-hardcore sound. I shouldn't say post-punk, post-hardcore sound. And I've been listening to a lot of that lately. The next one is in the same vein, by a related band named Chamberlain. Their song Uniontown was on their Fate's Got a Driver album in 1996. And this band is from Bloomington, Indiana. Then we have Broken Social Scene, Cause Equal Time, from their You Forgot It in People album from 2002. And this is another Canadian band from Toronto. Then I went back to the 70s again for Mr. Big Stuff from Jean Knight. This was on the Mr. Big Stuff album that came out in 1971, and she was from New Orleans, and I'm not familiar with her, but I had heard this song on the radio over the years and heard it again recently, and it really, I liked it, and so I wanted to include it for this one. The next one is Shakespeare's Sister, a song from their 1989 debut album Sacred Heart. The one I picked was the first track, Heroine, and I'd heard Shakespeare's Sister before in different 80s comps, but I don't remember hearing this specific song. And if you don't know Shakespeare's Sister, this is one of the women that was in Bananarama after they broke up, where she left. She went on to form this band, Shakespeare's Sister. And as far as I know, they're still putting out music. So you should go check them out if you like Bananarama. Next one is 21 Pilots, and the song I picked was Stressed Out, which is kind of all over the radio, and you hear it a lot in different places. And this was on their Blurry Face album from 2015, and this band is from Columbus, Ohio. The next one is the band Pop Tone, re-recording of the Love and Rocket song Mirror People from their 80s album Earth, Sun, Moon. And this was on the Pop Tone album that came out in 2018, which, as far as I can tell, is the only album. But Pop Tone, the band, is Daniel Ash of Love and Rockets and Bauhaus and a few other people. And they have re-recorded some of the Love and Rocket songs and some of the earlier material. And this song just had a great sound to it. It was a little bit more aggressive, I think, than the more acoustic sounding version on Earth, Sun, Moon. And I really liked this arrangement, so I wanted to include it. The next one is the oldest song, I think, on this playlist. It's Nick Drake, and the song I picked was The Thoughts of Mary Jane from his 5 Leaves Left album that came out in 1969. Nick Drake was a British musician. He was not very well known in his lifetime, and he has since passed away. He had a very fairly short career, only 2 or 3 albums, but he is very much an inspiration for a lot of indie and lighter alternative bands even today. So he is definitely worth going and checking out. The next one is still from the 60s, but it's a cover version that was done in 2015. The Sound of Silence. This is the Disturbed version that was on their Immortalized album from 2015. And the vocals on this are just fantastic. And the arrangement, the way it builds, was just perfect. And the video for the song is definitely worth going and watching because it really explains what they see as the meaning of the song and the building of just the sound and the musicians. And so it's worth checking out. Next one, we're going really heavy, leading from Disturbed into Metallica. I went with Master of Puppets from the 1986 Master of Puppets album. And we heard this Master of Puppets recently. I was familiar with it when it came out and hadn't heard it in a while. But we were watching these young guys on YouTube who listen to music that they've never heard before in different genres, and then they react to it. And these guys really seem to love music, and their reactions to Metallica as young guys, and the aggression and the drumming and the guitars, everything, they were funny to watch, and they really seemed to enjoy it. The next one is a female band, L7 from Los Angeles, and the one I picked is Shit List from the Bricks Are Heavy album that came out in 1992. And Shit List and several other songs from this album and a few other female-led independent and alternative bands from the 90s were used in the show Resident Alien. And the scene that they used, Shit List, in the show was really funny and appropriate as they are all walking along with a mission. So if you can go back and watch the show, it's a funny show too. The next one is a new song from Duran Duran that came out in 2023 from their Dance Macabre album. The one I went with was Love Voodoo. And this album is interesting because they were doing a residency somewhere for Halloween, around Halloween, and they kind of created this set of older covers from the 80s and some of their re-recordings of their own songs with slightly different arrangements. So it's got a very Halloween feel to it, and really recommend going and listening to this new album. It's a great return for Duran Duran. The next one, going to 1984 for the Icicle Works Whisper to a Scream, Birds Fly. And I went with the extended club mix just because I like the arrangement just a little bit better. Another 80s, but totally different. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince Parents Just Don't Understand from the He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper album that came out in 1988. And if you don't know, the Fresh Prince is Will Smith, and this was really kind of his first introduction to people and his first real song. And the show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, kind of came out of this. And we heard it recently on the radio, and I kind of really liked it when I heard it originally, and so it was fun to include. The next one is a similar time frame and similar style of music, but it's totally different. This is Andrew Ford Medina, from his Humanap Kalang Pangat album that came out in 1990. And Andrew E. is a Filipino rapper, and he was very much influenced by the late 80s and early 90s rappers, Run DMC, and some of the, that popular rap at that time. And I heard him through friends, and I heard several of his albums, and I do speak a little bit of Filipino. I picked it up when I was there, And so I'm able to get some of the words, and the lyrics are a mixture of English and Filipino. And it's about him meeting a girl and going over, and it gets a little raunchy, and they have some fun, and they get joined by her sister. And so even if you don't speak Filipino, you can still kind of pick out what he's saying, and it's a funny song. So this kind of goes out to also some of my viewers I've seen are in the Philippines. So I hope you appreciate this, and I see you. The last song on this playlist is Moss Icons, as afterwards the words still ring. And this was on the Moss Icons Silver Bearing Split album that came out in 1991. And the band is from Annapolis, Maryland. Now this song it's a story, and it's about a black man escaping out of slavery and being pursued by slave catchers. So I thought the lyrics were really good, and the song is really well done. And that's how I decided to close out this playlist. So I hope you listen to it and enjoy it, and open up, your horizons to something new. And I will be working on the December playlist and hopefully have that ready for you in January. So thanks for watching, and if you like, check back for more, and please go check out my other videos. Thank you.